Assalamualaikum. Let's go for the teaching video part 2, which is the demand and supply. Okay, so kalau dia tak faham, demand means permintaan, supply means penawaran. So in this particular topic, permintaan adalah berkenaan pembeli, while supply, penawaran adalah berkenaan penjual. So in this particular topic, we are looking forward to see the roles of the seller and also the buyer. Okay, before we go further with the definition of demand and supply, let's go with the classification of goods dulu. Kita akan tengok from two perspective. First is the conventional perspective, and the second one is from the Islamic perspective. From conventional perspective, okay, there are three types of goods. The first is free goods, second is public goods, and the last one is the economic goods. Okay, so first, the free goods. This is the goods that is readily available for everybody. Okay, from the conventional perspective, economics and religion don't come together. So it is assumed that the universe itself created itself. Okay, so everything in the universe that is not created by human being is considered as free good. Okay, for example, the air, the sunlight, the rain, and so on. So we cannot deny the right of the people to enjoy this free good. Second one is public goods. Public goods is good that is being produced by human, but the one who initiate the production of public goods, who finance the production of public goods, are the government. Okay, and the government finance the production of public goods using the tax revenue, duit cukai, and the government get this money to provide public goods so that people in the country can enjoy a cheaper types of good. Public goods ni adalah goods yang murah. For example, public hospital. You go to the hospital, you need to pay RM1 only. Tapi kalau you go to the private hospital, you need to pay 1,000, right? Even though you meet up with the kata doktor pakar. Dekat public hospital, doktor pakar, still you need to pay RM1. Tapi kalau kat private, you need to pay a lot. So public good is not profitable. That's why seller did not provide public goods. Because, for example, go to the hospital and pay RM1. Gaji doktor pakar tu pun dah berapa. So, dia tak cover cost pun. Kerajaan yang serap cost for public goods ni. And it is important for a country to have public goods because in the country, there are various types of people, and we have the low income people, and they need public goods in order to survive well in the country. Okay, sebab tu ada sekolah awam, ada sekolah swasta juga untuk caters to the right of to caters the needs of the people in the country. So bukan bermaksud the public goods is just for the poor. Even though sekarang you all duduk dekat IPTA kan, some of you is very rich. So tak adalah maksudnya this is the goods that belongs to the people. Okay, but the cost of producing that goods being financed by the government. Okay, it is for the benefit of the society. For example, this is the example lah, the common example, radio station, public parks, and so on. And last one is the economic goods. This type of good require cost of production. Ni goods yang you buat jual beli. And it is limited in supply because to produce this good, you need to have money. As a seller, to produce something, you must have modal. Okay, and because this type of good require cost to produce, of course, if you want to obtain or require or you want to get the goods, you need to purchase. So this is the goods that surrounding you. For example, you want to buy, you want to have book, you need to buy books. Okay. While from Islamic perspective, okay, it's basically no specific classification such as the conventional. Just that it says that goods are bounties bestowed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mankind. So meaning that everything in the world belongs to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, even though human that create the goods. For example, dia kata komputer dicipta oleh manusia. So kenapa dia belongs to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala? Because manusia tu siapa yang cipta? Siapa yang bagi akal, pemikiran pada human? It's Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. So everything in the world belongs to Him. So whatever His creation create belongs to Him. It is the bounties bestowed by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala to mankind. So mean that everything belongs to Allah. You as a Khalifah, vice-regents, you just orang kata buat something yang Allah perintahkan je. Okay, in Islamic perspective, there are two related concepts to goods. First is at-tayyibat, means that good must be good, pure and clean. Isyarat dia to be classified as good. Okay, for example, alcohol is against our religion, right? So ada producer yang produce alcohol and sell alcohol. From Islamic perspective, that types of good is not considered as good because it's violate these three concept into at-tayyibat. Alcohol is not good, it's not pure, it's not clean. It's different, right? Ini alkohol yang you minum, arak. Kalau yang untuk perubatan semua tu lain Okay, fahamkan kenapa? Sebab pengharaman sesuatu barangan tersebut. The consumption is intimately tied up to the Islamic value. Okay, so if you want to buy something as a Muslim, still a Muslim, we must abide with the rules and regulation by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala lah, through the guidance of Quran and Sunnah. Next, we have the concept of risk, godly sustenance, heavenly gift. Consumption is tied up to the message that Allah is the true sustainer and the provider, meaning that everybody they have their own part. And ni orang kata kalau dalam istilah Melayu kita translate kan rezeki lah. So if we believe that we have our own part, we won't be jealous of others. For example, rumah you lagi kecil daripada rumah jiran sebelah. Dia kata Allah is unfair. But kalau you tengok betul-betul jiran sebelah tu macam mana dia usaha untuk menjadi sekaya itu, and you berharap semata-mata tak apa Allah promise rezeki kita ada tu, cannot lah. Even though Allah said that it one depends on the risk, and risk come with your effort. Sebab tu kita suruh belajar, sebab kita nak suruh you jadi somebody in the future. You can sustain your lifestyle, your livelihood. Okay, next is classification of goods from Islamic perspective. Okay, sorry tadi I kata tak ada kan. This is 3 types of good. Ini classification of goods lah. Classification of goods ataupun kita panggil sebagai types of goods. Okay, first is daruriyah. Daruriyah is necessity goods. Okay, this is very important for a human being to survive, such as the 5 daruriyah, 5 basic necessity of a human being. Food, we have food. So we have food and drinks. We have clothing. We have shelter. We have education. And last one adalah health. This is the 5 basic necessity of a human being. Everybody should have foods and drink in order to survive. Clothing, shelter, tempat berlindung, education, pendidikan, dan juga health service. So in Islam say a country should provide these 5 things to the people inside the country if they are unable to provide for themselves. Before we proceed with other development in the country, if the government has money, they must provide these 5 basic necessity, 5 basic necessity of a human being to everybody in the country. Everybody should have foods and drink. Everybody should have clothing. Everybody should have shelter. Bukan maksud semua orang kena bagi rumah banglo, tak. At least dia ada tempat untuk berlindung, bukan bawah jambatan. Everybody should have access to education. Kalau kita tengok negara miskin sekarang ni, kenapa dia tak makin lama makin ramai rakyat dia miskin? Because the people there are unable to change their lifestyle due to the lack of education. They are not being given the opportunity to learn at school. Most of them are able to go even to the primary school. Tak ada basic education langsung. Kalau orang tak ada pendidikan, can they change themselves? Do they know how to change themselves? They don't have the education. So that's why in Islam said education is very important. It is a 5 basic necessity. You must subsidize education. If the people in the country are unable to obtain education, the government must subsidize the education. Kena taja. Okay, and also health service, so that people are able to treat themselves if they are ill. Okay, jangan satu negara tu tak ada langsung hospital kerajaan, semuanya swasta yang you need ratus ribu untuk pergi ke situ. Sebab in the country we have lots of people kan, macam-macam golongan, macam-macam income level, so we must cater for those yang low income. So ini tak ada, bukan untuk low income saja. The in Islam it said that everybody must have this 5 basic necessity. Alright, second one is hajjiyah. Hajjiyah is I'm not sure what happened here. Okay, hajjiyah is complementary goods. Pelengkap. It will improve the quality of life. Actually, these daruriyah, hajjiyah, kamaliyah ni, they have relationship with each other. First, we need to fulfill daruriyah. Everybody in the country should have these 5 basic necessity. Okay, second one, if we have more, okay, we have access ada lebih, we can fulfill the requirement of hajjiyah, complementary, improve the quality of life. For example, untuk daruriyah ni, everybody should have shelter, ada rumah. Okay, so bila ada lebih lagi, dia can proceed with the second classification of good, which is hajjiyah. Rumah tu boleh dilengkapkan dengan item-item yang akan memudahkan daily life kita. For example, the house should be equipped with electricity, water supply. That is hajjiyah. Okay, daruriyah tu at least ada a house to stay safe. Second one, hajjiyah, if you have more, you have access, you can buy hajjiyah. That provide the house with electricity, water, or a chair, TV, fan, ceiling fan, anything yang melengkapkan rumah untuk selesa lagi duduk. And then going for the last one, which is kamaliyah. This kamaliyah is luxury goods, the perfection of life. If you have more, you can go for the third, which is kamaliyah. You can upgrade those in your house. For example, daripada kerusi kayu kepada sofa, daripada kipas kepada aircon. This is kamaliyah. Okay, tak salah dalam Islam. This is luxury. If you can afford, please proceed. And last kali is tarafiyah. This one is not good. Why? This is extravagant and wasteful. It is said that sometimes it will become unlawful. For example, you dah terlampau banyak duit, you tak tahu what to do with the money. And then what did you do? Ciptaan Allah dah cantik-cantik pada you. You buang semua gigi you pakai gigi berlian. Semata-mata sebab you ada banyak duit. That is tarafiyah. You melakukan something yang extreme. For example, terlampau banyak duit, you buat apa? You beli Ferrari 7 buah. Setiap hari pakai different colour. Tak perlu pun sebab you ada satu badan je kan. Seorang je. Kecuali kalau 7 Ferrari, satu untuk nenek, satu untuk atuk, satu untuk mak, then it's fine. Itu bukan kategori tarafiyah. Tarafiyah ni kalau you buy something yang you tak perlukan. For example, grill rumah, you buat daripada emas. Padahal tak tahu nak letak mana, kat mana duit. Padahal dalam Islam said, if you have access, you should help the poor and the needy instead of bazirkan. Sebab kita dalam dunia ni, everything belongs to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Kita bukan hak mutlak kita. Kita cuma khalifah yang akan mentadbir resource yang Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala bagi tu. Okay, so let's look at the question. Kalau soalan ni dia lebih kepada soalan AC. So I'll find the question there. This is the question. So instead of saying classification, dia boleh jadi hierarchy ataupun types. Okay, classification, types, classification. So guys, bear in mind, if I put in this bawah same question here, this is same question, keluar different years, different ways of asking the question, but the answer is the same. Cuma ni ada nak 3 kan, ini nak 4. Okay, so explain 3 hierarchy of demand according to Islamic perspective. Kalau nak 3 je, jadi sesat satu ni, yang lain semua nak 4 kan. You should explain daruriyah, hajah, kamaliyah. Jangan skip, you must follow the sequence. First explain about daruriyah, hajah, kamaliyah. Just exclude the tarafiyah. But most of the question ask for 4. So 4 question. 4 types of goods. And then that you... Sorry, I have a call here. Okay, so this is how you should answer the question lah. First of all, you start with daruriyah, means necessity goods, basic necessities such as foods and drink, shelter, healthcare, education and clothing. For example, every person must have at least a house as a shelter from harsh weather and wild animals. Okay, and then baru you proceed with hajiyah, means complementary goods. It is to improve the quality of life. For example, after we have fulfilled the needs of daruriyah, having a house, we can equip the house with furniture. So that's same goes with water and electricity supply to make our life inside the house more comfortable lah. And then next we go for kamaliyah, means luxury good. It is for the provision of life. After we have fulfilled the daruriyah and hajiyah, if we are capable, we can proceed with kamaliyah goods. For example, the house can also be equipped with aircon and anything yang luxury yang akan menyebabkan hidup kita lebih selesa. And last sekali, tarafiyah means extravagant and wasteful goods, and it sometimes is unlawful. For example, if we already have house but we buy another 10 house for our own use, basically that is not allowed in Islam. Okay, so this is how you answer the question. And do we have another one? I think that's it for that one. Alright, so I'll proceed with another teaching video later.